Good morning, Las Vegas. I hope you guys are off to a beautiful Saturday. This is none other than Monique Buchanan, your friend in real estate. This show is the Monique Buchanan Show, where I talk all things real estate and so much more. This morning, if you're looking for something to do, my family, a family member of mine, is actually hosting a March Madness second annual car and bike show today. Family friendly. You can take the kids 12 and under are free. It's going to be over at the drive-in theater. So if you guys didn't know, we still have a drive-in theater. It's called West Wind Las Vegas Movie Drive-In right there on Cary. And it's from 9 a.m. this morning until, all right, so you can go over there if you have, a hot rod, an old school car, muscle car, low riders, all those beautiful automobiles will be there. So I personally always wanted a 64 Classic, the Cutlass. I love that car, drop top. So, if you have one, let me know. But yeah, this is not Monique Buchanan, the car show, but I just want to let you guys know that we are going to be out there, me and the family, enjoying the beautiful cars that come out. Cars and trucks are $30 admission. Bikes are $25. Classic cars are $25 for admission. And like I said, kids are 12 and under are free. There will be things there for the kids to do and food. So just an event this Saturday if you're looking for something to get into that is family friendly. There also will be prizes. There's going to be a $500 prize for the king of the lot. And there will be a $500 prize for the queen of the lot. They're going to be looking at, best paint job, best lowrider, best engine bay, whatever that means. But, we've got to support the family. He throws a great event. This is his second one, packed out last year. So like I said, it starts at 9 a.m. and that is once again at the West Wind Las Vegas Movie Drive-In today. So hope to see you guys out there. I'm going to be out there with my little babies, Malia and Sasha. And we're going to be looking at some cars and enjoying the food and everything that is going to be out there. Okay, guys, just to fill you on in, the current interest rates are sitting at around 6%. Okay, that is, a lot better than what they were last year. We were looking at 7.25% at one point. It's pretty crazy. So we are down to 6%. Last week, I believe we had gotten down all the way to 5.75. So I do imagine that they're going to continue to trickle on down. I'm telling everybody by summer, I'm thinking like June, July, August, we should be seeing in the 5s again, maybe even lower, hopefully. But that's just my prediction. Now, that's great news for buyers, but it's also not so great news for buyers that don't have money saved up. Why do I say that? It's great news for buyers that have 401k that they can pull out of, or that have saved their money for a down payment already and closing costs. And just so you know, that is around 6%. So just keep that in mind. Down payment, 3.5%. Your closing costs can be from 2 to 3%. So I just tell people to be safe by thinking to themselves, when I'm going to purchase a home, I need to have 6% at least to purchase that home, to buy down payment, pay for down payment and closing costs. Okay. So just keep that in mind. So if I'm somebody that has the ability to pull money out of my 401k. Maybe I've worked in the casinos or my job has 401k and I'm able to pull that money out. And I understand that in fact, I've never come across a 401k that didn't, but I'm just going to say most 401ks, when you're pulling money out to purchase your primary home, they do not penalize you. In other words, you're not going to get taxed on it. I'm not a CPA, but this is what I know of from experience. Of course, check with your CPA, so when you can show the next year when you go to do your taxes like I did, hey, I purchased a property with that $40,000 that I pulled out, or well, if it's a $400,000 house, $12,000 that I pulled out. So only $12,000, and then I needed closing costs. So, hey, I can show that I purchased a home. Then I don't have to pay, taxes on that money that I pulled out of my 401k for pulling it out early, if that makes any sense. So if you're somebody that has that ability, or you've already saved $12,000, $20,000. So you already have your money ready to go to purchase a property. Then me saying that the rates are going to go down in the summer is a good thing. It's a good thing. But I hope you also have saved more than just your down payment and your closing cost. Well, why do I say that? Well, because guess what, guys? Everybody is going to be jumping in to buy a home. They're already steadily coming even now that the rates have come down to just 6%. We've already seen an influx of buyers and applications to purchase. It's already went way up. And we haven't even hit, 5.25 or even 4.75 yet. When that happens, it's going to be a feeding frenzy. You guys have heard me say it time and time again. You've heard Anthony say it. It is what it is. If you ask any realtor out there, they're going to remember, that's been in the game for a while, the business. They're going to remember 2019. And that's what we're about to go back to. Okay. Because we still have a limited amount of homes for sale here in Vegas. So yeah, we went up a bit. We don't have enough to cover the demand. That's the problem. And that's why it's going to be a feeding frenzy, because there's so many people that want to buy that are on the sidelines right now just waiting. So once those rates do go down to 4.75, it's going to be multiple offers. I predict it's going to be waiving of appraisals, right? So they don't care if they're overpaying. My buyers have already seen it. 2019, my buyers did not care if they were overpaying for the property because they were going up against literally 20 offers. 20 offers. And my buyers were willing to pay over asking price. They were willing to waive appraisals against my better judgment. So that is, right here upon us, you guys. It's right here upon us. I promise you. As soon as those rates come down and they have a 4 in front of them, or even a 5.25, I'm telling you, because I'm already seeing it. When the rates went down last week to 5.75, my phone was ringing with buyers putting in applications and taking advantage of our 0 down programs. Hey, I'm going to hurry up now because they understand even at 5.75, Monique right now can still negotiate some closing costs for me. And I can buy my rate down to the 4s right now with the money she gets me by negotiating. So right now, sellers are still willing to pay some of your cost. So that window is going to be pretty much closed once we see anything with a 4 in front of it. That's my prediction from years and years of doing this, you guys. I've already been through this with, in the past. So that's where we're heading to. So like I said, if you have money saved up, you can totally cover your down payment. You can totally cover your closing costs. Heck, you can even go over list price because you've got some money saved. Then great. Guess what? Great news. The rates will be coming down in my prediction by this summer. Okay. If you want to wait, that's fine. But even that person that has money to, saved up that they're comfortable waiting. Remember this, limited supply, more buyers out there. So now you're not going to have your pick of the litter. You're going to be limited on what all that money you saved up can buy. So when you see the house that you really, really want, just know that you're going to have a lot of competition with other people that also have plenty of money saved up. So you could get beat out, just like my clients were in 2019, going $20,000 and $30,000 over list, still getting beat out by all cash purchases from people from New York, Chicago, LA, from Vegas. Cash is king. So just remember that. I don't mean to say it to scare you, but I do want to enlighten you. I do want to enlighten you that if now you move, you're going to have options and you'll be able to pick the home that you actually want. Now, let's pivot. If you're somebody that does not have any savings, right, but does have a 640 credit score and has been working on any job for 2 years and has a desire to own their own property because they want to live here in Vegas and they see the writing on the wall that our home prices they've dropped a bit because of the rates being high. But as soon as those rates drop, guess what goes up? The home prices. They climb because there's more demand. It's simple as that. When there's demand, prices go up. We all know that, right? We all know that. So if you're somebody that does not want to miss the boat and you're saying, Monique, I don't have the money right now. You know what? In fact, I think all I have saved is $8,000. And I'm hoping to buy a house at $450,000. Although you only have around $8,000 in your account or wherever it's saved up, that very well could be all you need right now, because sellers right now are willing to contribute towards the rest of the money that you're going to need. And like I said before, that's going to go away as soon as, if I'm right, this summer when the rates come down to 5.25 even. Sellers are going to have so many buyers at their door trying to purchase their property. They're not going to be motivated to give you a penny because they don't need to. There's 4 buyers behind you, sir, that are not asking me for anything. So excuse me, let me talk to them. I mean, it sounds harsh, but that's what's happening. So if you're just tuning in, this is Monique Buchanan. This is the Monique Buchanan Show. You can reach me at 702-984-3700 if you're thinking of purchasing your first home, investment home, commercial property, or if you are thinking about selling any of those. My number again is 702-984-3700. You can reach me also. My email is welcomehomeshow91.5 at Gmail. Welcomehomeshow91.5 at Gmail. If you're more into emails, I don't mind. Also, you can catch me at Monique Buchanan on IG. Okay, so let's jump back into it. If you're somebody that's always wanted to own your own home, first and foremost, don't count yourself out. Even if somebody has told you in the past that, no, you will never own. We take pride in being able to say that we have helped dozens of people throughout the years that have been literally told they will never buy a home. It's all about who you go to and who you know, right? You have to go to people that know the way to get you approved and qualified, or guide you, give you a roadmap. Hey, guess what? It's not that bad. You only have to do this, this, and that, and we'll be able to get you the keys. You don't know how many times I have done this. Me and Anthony have done this with clients, bartenders, cocktail waitresses, especially people in the industry, 1099 people, that have been told, no, well, you don't prove your income and this and that. We give them the roadmap and we give them keys. Okay. Bad credit. We have people that help you with that. So we have been blessed with all the resources. A lot of people just want to slam dunk. I'll just be honest with you. A lot of people don't want to do the work. They just want to slam dunk. Oh, you don't have an 800 score? Oh, you don't have a 750 score? Yeah, we can't do anything with you. Or if it's a bank, banks have very strict guidelines. A lot of them have stricter guidelines than a lot of the mortgage lenders will have. And that's their prerogative. That's how they do business. A lot of them, not saying all of them, but a lot of them. I get a lot of clients that call me and say, I've been with my bank 25 years, and they told me I could not get approved for a home. And then the next thing they're doing is thanking me as I'm handing them keys to their home. Okay? So it's all about who you know and the resources that you have. I've been blessed to have these resources, so don't count yourself out. So anyways, if you are one of those people that do not have a lot of money saved up, it's a 5-minute conversation. So if nothing else, you're going to walk away with how you can become a homeowner. Okay? Because that's what we do. If for some reason it's never a no, it might be a not right now, but here's how to get you there in 2 months, 3 months, next month, or in 2 weeks, or tomorrow. So people are always shocked when they get approved. They've already made it up in their minds that they couldn't make it. They couldn't buy a home. But, don't self-sabotage yourself. Please don't do it. You deserve better than that. You get up every day and put the work in. You deserve to pull up to your own home. I like to always say, you shouldn't have a Land Rover and a landlord. You need to own your own property and start building wealth for your family. 702-984-3700. So again, my people out there, we can utilize zero down grants. Okay. If you're able to act quickly before the market turns, which I see it turning soon. If you're able to act quickly, then we can go ahead and get you approved, right? We can use that little $8,000 or whatever you have saved up. We could put that towards the purchase of your home, and then I will negotiate and work those numbers out so that we can go ahead and get you into a home. And listen, that's been happening, I would say, this last 2 years. I've been doing that, and I've been successful. I can't think of a time that I haven't been successful with one of my clients with getting sellers closing costs in the last 2 years, to be honest with you guys. Honestly, I've gotten it every single time. The last 2 years, I've been getting sellers to contribute towards my clients, unless they just didn't want it or they didn't need it. I have a lot of sellers that, hey, they don't need the money and they just want to, offer full price and not ask for any closing costs. Hey, if you're blessed in that manner, we can do that as well. I'll negotiate something else. I like to get things for my clients. But anyways, you've been thinking about purchasing a home. You have at least a 640 credit score. You've been on your job at least 2 years, right? The writing's on the wall. The rates have already been trickling down. It's no secret, okay? Even the feds are saying they're going to be lowering the rates. So this is not a secret. But once they do that, if you look at history, that's not good for you as a buyer, because then it puts the power back into my seller's hands.
Monique Buchanan has served the community for over 10 years, helping homeowners, probate families, first-time buyers with zero down grants, and investors nationwide, serving all 50 states and 24 countries worldwide. 702-984-3700 at Realtor Monique Buchanan on Instagram. The Monique Buchanan team. Experience you can trust. And now, back to the Welcome Home Show.
And speaking of sellers, I want to congratulate one of my favorite couples, the Brewsters. I just love them. Great people, man. Great people. They run the Roseman College over there for the medical college. They've actually been on before. We listed their property last year with an understanding that it wasn't a good time to list. You guys all heard me say, and they understood that. But hey, they said, let's put it out there. Let's see what happens. They decided to keep it because he's already doing really well with that property with furnished finders. He was doing really well. He came on and talked about that a little bit as well. So he said, you know what, Monique, we'll go ahead and pull it off. Let's wait. Let's go ahead and wait. Because I told him, hey, once the rates start coming down, that's when we're going to be able to move this. So I want to congratulate them. They're very savvy investors. And they called me up, said, Monique, it's time. Let's list it. So we got that thing on the market. What was it, last Friday, I believe? I always do pictures. That's a must, you guys. No, listen, if an agent walks in that door with their iPhone taking pictures, no, not today. They need to invest in pictures for you, a professional photo shoot for your property, because everybody is looking at your house on their phone, on Zillow and all the other platforms. So those pictures need to be top tier, okay? Also, we did the videography for the property. This is a luxury property located in Spanish Trails. So we need to be able to show off the amenities of this, not only the home, but the community, right? So these are all the things that you need to do when you're listing a property like such, okay? Spanish Trails is one of the most prominent communities in Las Vegas, one of the most established communities, luxury communities, golf course communities, country club communities in Las Vegas. It is located, 5 minutes from the Durango Casino, the new Durango Casino, about 6 minutes from the Strip, probably 8 minutes from the Raiders Stadium. I think that's why he did so well. Besides all the amenities themselves, the location is key. It's guard gated. You have a private wine cellar at the country club. You can take your friends over there and entertain them. You have food delivered from the restaurant directly to your doorstep. When you go on vacation, the security is checking on your property. But it's in a guard-gated community, but they're still checking on your property. But it takes a special buyer, right? Because although the price was only $467,000, because it's a townhome, it has a 2-bedroom, 2-car garage, 1,758 square feet. Now you say, wow, that's pretty big for a 2-bedroom. Well, it has a flex space that you can easily turn into a 3-bedroom, right? So this house he's flipped the house. We're talking new floors, bathrooms updated, all that. But yeah, so here's the thing. At that price point, you're thinking, wow, that almost seems too good to be true. No, it's a rare opportunity because these townhomes don't come available too often. And it does have an $800 a month HOA. Well, Monique, that sounds like a high HOA, but think about the amenities you're getting for that. All the things I just said, you are able to network on a daily, become familiar with, some of the most influential people in our city live in that community. And, that's priceless, okay? He understood the importance of that. Him and his beautiful wife, Cheryl, they understood the importance of that. And the buyer also has to understand the importance of that. So I'm congratulating them. We were only on the market 4 days, got a cash offer, and we have a 2-week closing. So they're moving on to bigger and better things. They're going to be purchasing a beautiful home in France. They're also going to be purchasing a property for their son in Atlanta. Like I said, these are savvy investors and great people. So congratulations to the Brewsters on their property. So I also want to talk about a property I sold for another amazing couple. I love my KUNB couples. I tell you, boy, you guys are great people out there. I feel so blessed to have, when I go out there and talk to you guys to list your property or even to buy properties, I meet some of the most amazing people from this platform. So thank you so much for tuning in. I do want to say that. Oh, and by the way, if you are just tuning in, my number is 702-984-3700. If you're thinking about listing a property or purchasing a property, welcome home. show91.5@gmail is my email. You can catch me on IG at Realtor Monique Buchanan. That's Buchanan. Okay, so there's another amazing couple. They had a property that they wanted to sell. They were going to move on to Texas. But here's the thing about that property. That property had a $30,000 solar loan attached to that property. Okay. Why does that matter, Monique? Listen, that's a huge thing. So when buyers go to a property that have solar, right, you have to tell that buyer, it's basically like, hey, I know you love the house, but there's a $30,000 car sitting in the garage that you're going to have to purchase with this house. That's pretty much what anybody that looked at that listing was going to have to tell their buyer. So that's why it is so imperative, you guys, right, that you get a agent that knows solar, has solar. I've had solar for over 8 years now, right? You need to know the different types of solar systems. You need to know the different ways solar can be transferred. You need to know how to protect your seller when selling solar, because one slip up, they can be sued. I've already heard some stories about it. So you need to know the verbiage that needs to go on addendums and such to protect your seller from being sued, even from selling their solar. Now, listen, you also need to have an agent that understands the benefits of solar. I will never go back to the power grid. And see, I am able to, as an agent, explain to the buyer's agents the benefits and really enlighten them on the process, because a lot of them don't know. I'll tell you, the majority of agents out there, they don't understand the process of solar. They don't. A lot of them don't even have solar, right? So a lot of them will try to, how can I say this? If they could avoid selling a house with solar, they would, because, you know, when you don't understand something in the process, you tend to shy away from it, right? That's just natural as a human being. So luckily, when I have these agents that give me a call and their buyers are interested in this house with solar, I am able to converse with them, explain the benefits of solar, not only financially. I can explain and walk them through the process of purchasing, right? The solar, what that's going to look like for their buyer. I can explain that to them. Then I can go over and explain, you know, hey, here's I could actually show them the bills so they can present to their buyers, you know, the previous summer bills where they can see with their own eyes the benefit of having solar. Instead of a $700 a month payment in June and July and August, now you're only paying $120. That opens a lot of people's eyes, right? And then all these myths that surround solar, I can bust those up for you, right? Your agent needs to be able to do this, because if not, it's going to seem like a burden, especially when you have a $30,000 loan. You know, some of the loans are not so high. You know, my clients at the time, they just got the solar. That's why the loan was so high. So I had to be real creative with the listing to get this thing sold, right? So I had to price it right, which they were happy with. And they were most happy because I told them, listen, what I want to do is I want to make it to where you don't have to pay off that solar. Because at first they were going to pay off the solar. That's $30,000 off their net, what they get to walk away with. And I said, no. Let's do it this way. Let me put this thing together where you're going to walk away with that $30,000. You know what I mean? So that's what we did. And I'll tell you what, I was able to enlighten the agent. She did not understand how everything worked, but after talking to me and, you know, getting that information, she felt very good about it. Her buyers were happy about it because we provided them the bills and did some other things for them to make them understand the benefits of the solar. And so now they're excited. They're going to get a pool put in the back. They understand that with the solar, you know, that pump has to run 24 hours a day. So now they're excited about the solar because that's going to save them a ton of money because it's already up there. It's already on the roof. So you guys, it's imperative to know the ins and outs about the solar. If you have a property that you want to sell with solar, it is dire that you get an agent that understands the process of transferring the solar, because there are some strict timelines there. You want to make sure that agent knows the verbiage that needs to go on the contracts and have the proper disclosures sent over when dealing with solar, because you want to you want to be protected. I'll just say that. You need to be protected. So if you're thinking about selling a property that has solar, Hey, I love solar. You guys know that I've had solar people come on and talk about solar, answer your guys' questions about solar. Hey, I can, even if you're thinking about purchasing solar, I can assist you with that because I am a true believer in solar. It has saved me. I can't even imagine the thousands of dollars it saved me over my 8 years of having and owning solar. So anyways, 702-984-3700, 702-984-3700. And speaking of listings, I do want to say I've got a couple coming soon listings. One of my listings that's coming soon right now, I've talked to them. I want to spruce up the property a little bit, not dig a hole in their pocket, but there's some changes you can make when you're going to list a property without digging this big old hole. You can update that bathroom without having to swap out everything. You can maybe paint the cabinets, add the hardware, get the countertops changed out, add some new sinks. These things don't cost that much, but they look amazing when buyers come through there. So I've got them doing a couple of those things, doing some touch up with the paint, little things. I've got them sprucing up, adding some new fixtures. Hey, ceiling fans only cost $60 to $100, right? But it goes a long way when the buyers are walking through. Also, as a buyer's agent, I hear what the buyers are saying. I know what they're looking for when they're walking through these properties. So then when I put my listing agent hat on, I know what to advise my sellers. So my sellers, they're living in Denmark. So I'm orchestrating everything for them, of course, as their listing agent. So we're doing some work on it. But this property is on Hollywood Boulevard, okay? Sitting on a half-acre, single-story, RV parking, 3-car garage, Tesla hookup, modernized it, picture windows. You can see the entire Las Vegas Valley from this home. You can see them. I can't wait for like 4th of July. The clients will be seeing all the fireworks. So anyways, the property, like I said, it's about 2,700 square feet. It's a 4-bedroom, okay? We're going to be modernizing and updating the bathrooms. The kitchen's already been pretty much updated. Single story, like I said, right? It has a fire pit that's elevated, so you can go out there with your friends and sit around the fire pit and look at the view of Las Vegas. It's on Hollywood Boulevard. That one's coming soon, okay? I have another one in Centennial Hills that's also coming soon. Gated community, over 4,000 square feet. He has updated this property. It's coming soon. I should have that one listed by the end of this month. If you're thinking about listing your property, 702-984-3700. And this platform stretches very far, very, very far, okay? It reaches people that maybe are not on the other platforms. 702-984-3700. Last thing, I want to say congratulations to my buyer, Kyle. He just closed on his property. And he is so excited. So we got him a great deal, of course. We got him closing costs. And I also want to give a congratulations to none other than Mr. Harold Edwards. He closed on his property over there in Trilogy. Amazing man, great man, a fellow agent. And he's moving here from Atlanta. And one of my KUMV listeners, he is the one that referred him. Thank you, Damon. Thank you for the referral, brother. I appreciate you. So yes, now he is happy. He's here. I went over to his house. All his stuff is moved in. He had some beautiful art. He told me come back when he's all settled, and I get to see where he put up all his art. So congratulations, Harold and Kyle, my buyers. Hey guys, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. And until I hear from you, hope to see you at the car show, 9 a.m., West Wind Drive-In. You guys have a blessed weekend.